I just wanted to talk a little bit, as in the room across from me there's a little solarium, and in there's a bunch of plants growing, and about a week ago I planted some seeds, and today I looked and some of them had started sprouting. And something just kind of struck me, something amazing, in that all I did was plant a little seed. All I did was plant a little seed and then water said seed. And from water and sunlight, the seed naturally grew. And from just a single seed, we're able to get such an abundance of crops. And there's just something so incredible about the natural abundance of the earth and of life. The natural abundance of our existence. That just makes me want to breathe. Makes me a little bit tired. But isn't it incredible to think that all you have to do is plant a seed and water it, and from that you get many fruits and vegetables. You get the abundance of the seeds that you plant. The higher quality of a seed you plant, the longer the plant lives, the better it grows, the more abundantly it grows. And much in the same way, our ideas and our thoughts are seeds. Our ideas and our thoughts are downloads, messages, ideas, things that come from almost nowhere. And yet for some reason they align with who we are. At that point in time, the ideas that we have as an individual align with where we are at in our personal journeys, you know? There's something so incredible about the ability to think, the ability to comprehend ideas and images and pictures, and to create something from the mind into the real. It's such an unbelievable process, and it's one that takes a lot of practice, a lot of understanding. You know, the process of manifestation. There's a difference between consciously and unconsciously manifesting. When we unconsciously manifest, we're creating from a space of unknowing and feeling like we have no control. We are in our control, creating no control. In our control, we're saying there's nothing we can do, and we're assuming that everything in life is random. And that, if we're destined to fail, then that's on us. There's nothing we can do about that. But what does... How can we wake up every single morning and say to ourselves, I will never be good enough? How can we wake up and say to ourselves, there's something wrong with me? Why would we do that? Why would we want to do that? And then from there, realize that if you do that maybe that's not what you want. And that's okay. You don't have to want that. You don't have to want to live a sad life. You don't have to want to feel depressed. Like, depression is such a comfortable space because it makes happiness seem so daunting. It makes the feeling of waking up positive seem dated. And a lot of what we're trying to do here is bring more light to the positive, right? Shine light on the positive. Bring out the best in one another. Bring out the best in ourselves. This process is a process of healing, enlightening ourselves, and it's time we just go above and beyond. There's what more are we supposed to do? Humanity. There's a lot of things we got to be doing, right? There's a lot of things in a day that we could be doing that we aren't. And that goes for more than just humanity. That goes for everybody at an individual level. At an individual level, there is so much more we could do in a day, not even for anything other than ourselves. What if we just woke up in the morning and all devoted ourselves a little more to ourselves, to loving ourselves, to appreciating ourselves, to knowing that we are unique and each one of us has something special to share with the world. And like that's such a powerful thing. And you can say to yourself, well, I've got nothing to share, there's nothing inside of me to share. But I disagree. I just disagree. I think everybody comes from a unique background. Everybody comes from, a unique upbringing of circumstance that brought them to the individual they are today. And, there's a beauty to people being raised in so many cultures, because culture, it shapes the world. It tells us who we are and where we came from. Culture defines reality. Culture is the shapes of the buildings. Culture is the lengths of the roads. Culture is literally the place you wake up to. Your culture is just your environment. How the culture grows you and how you grow from the culture is another thing. And what happens when a culture becomes very toxic and very negative is I don't know if I need to say anything else. There is a lot that needs to be, at the very least, spoken about in reality. But it doesn't make sense with the way things are. Where does the culture need to go? The culture needs to go in a direction that is more positive, that is more enlightening, that is more based around self-love rather than self-preservation. Why? Because when you love yourself, you're automatically going to do the things that nurture you. You won't even think twice about it. That will become the new normal. The new normal will be self-love. Not self-hate. No more cutting. No more kids who are in grade 6 struggling through severe depression. We're introducing children into this dark and depressing reality so quickly. How? Why? Why? I mean, I could tell you why, but not today. See, the point is that what we're trying to do is become more positive as a species. Positive, negative. Positive, negative. We want to be positive because when we live in positivity, that's how you create positive change. When you live in negativity, you create negative change. You simply march the path as to whichever your consciousness is guided towards. Think of your life as living in two poles. You know, there's a positive and there's a negative. Heaven and hell. When you live in the negative pole, everything is depressing. You're living behind these eyes that are glazed over because you're actually so sad and so drained that the world outside of you seems colorless. It seems empty. It seems drab. But somebody who lives in a positive sphere looks outside. They don't even have to look outside. They look anywhere, and all they see is beauty. Positivity is a mindset. Positivity is a way of life. How do you do that? By practicing it. You're not going to be happy 24/7. That is an unrealistic expectation on anyone. Life flows. Don't allow your emotions to control you. Understand it's all a process. Truthfully, you can spend all 50 years, or you can spend 50 years working. But if you woke up every single one of those days unhappy, then what was the point? That leads me to the question of, what's the meaning of life? What's the point of being here? Well, it can't be to work. I mean, it can be to work. Kind of Sisyphusian. Sisyphus. But the meaning of life can't simply be just to slave. Can't be to just live in exhaustion and to live in depression, no. Well, the meaning of life has to be whatever we make of it, as we are the conscious experiencers of reality. And we can live in either a positive or a negative way. So this space is about moving into positive change. This space is about moving into positive action. Why? Because in order to create positive action, we have to live in positive thought. Positive thought is really the polar opposite of negative thought, right? You're either thinking positively or thinking negatively. You can approach every single situation in life in a positive or a negative way. You can respond in either good or evil. Everything that you do in one element or another can be boiled down to good or evil. Everything that you do. I light a candle. Why did I do that? Because I wanted to make my room feel nice. Why did I do that? Because I wanted to be peaceful. Well, to me, that sounds like good. What about something like, why did I steal from the store? I don't steal from stores, but let's say that. Why did I steal from the store? Well, and first thing you think is evil. And then I'm like, well, I'm broke and I needed to get medicine for my younger sister who's, sick. Okay, well, good. But evil. So was there another decision that could have been made further than that? Probably. What if it was instead? Good decision could have been speak to the doctor. instead of steal. The intention was good, but the decision made, the choice made, still was in a negative alignment and therefore would affect the person's life negatively going forward in a way that it now becomes something that they have to heal from. Every piece of damage, every negative thing you do to yourself is like a little extra piece of negative karma that you have to heal from, right? Let's say I'm supposed to go out with my friends and I just don't show up. Then, they're going to message me and I'm going to be feeling bad. And I either keep running away from it and it becomes something that haunts me for the rest of my life, or I heal from it. And that would probably mean that I would have to speak with them on the subject as well. But now imagine if I did something like that every single day for a year. Now all of a sudden there's all these people and that I have to heal from. And what if they all don't like me anymore? Then that means, I'm kind of just left with myself. And the healing really has to be done from a space internally. And I can't look towards other people to heal me. I just have to heal myself in that sort of a scenario. But it's a lot to heal from. Some wounds are bigger than others. Some wounds, like if we accidentally hurt somebody, from whether it be just a plain old injury or something much worse, that's something that we have to heal from and something that could affect us for the rest of our lifetime. And that's tough. And I wish peace to everybody who's had to experience something like that. But yeah, it's kind of why you just gotta live positively. And that doesn't mean that living positively, like everything you do is gonna be right. No, of course not. But it does mean that your decisions are all being made from a space of, first and foremost, self-love. And then you reflect that outwards towards the world. You can't live in a space that's just angry at yourself, because we're all at a very baseline level. Everybody experiences life in the exact same way. Like life as a whole experience, aside from how we perceive it, and when it comes to our, opinions about things, reality as a whole is just one grand experiment. And every person experiences the same range of emotions. Every person comes into life through the womb and leaves it in death. Every person comes into this world and out of it in the same way. And through their life, they either live happy or sad. You have life as the whole. Then you have a positive way of living it and a negative way of living it. There's your life. There's your cutoff. Positive, negative. And they're all happening simultaneously. And at any point in time, you're going to keep swinging between the two. And it's your job to learn how to stay on the positive polarity as best as possible for as long as possible. And that is a practice. That isn't something that you're going to perfect overnight, because it comes with a lot of studying. It comes with a lot of self-studying, studying of the world you live in, understanding more about science. Because happiness is also about understanding your reality and learning more about why you think the way you think. When you master your thoughts, then there no longer becomes a thought that can hurt you, because you know the nature of them. You know what they are. You know what your thoughts are trying to say to you, what the triggers are. You know, anything that triggers you in the material world. If I see something that angers me from another person, well, where is this anger coming from? Where is this jealousy coming from? At the end of the day, if I never talk to that person, but I take that anger home with me, that's on me. That person doesn't know anything about it. So anything that triggers me, anything that makes me angry, is another opportunity for me to learn. Life is literally just opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to learn. Because your mind is going to say something to you like, you should do this. But then you're going to be like, oh, but I've never done that before, I shouldn't. And then you're not going to do it. But life is so fluid. Life is so open to experience and to infinite possibilities that by limiting how we think, we limit how we behave. By limiting our ability to go beyond and to grasp new ideas, by limiting our ability to be intelligent beings, then we just hurt ourselves in the process, And when you're so stuck in your animalistic natures and tendencies and, stuck to, hypersexualization and, I don't know, just anything that takes you into a negative mind frame, it's not good. Not to me, at least. And, I can't, at the end of the day, I can't tell you what's good. I can't tell you how to think. I can't tell you how to live. That's not up to me. It's when I turn off this screen, when I sign off at the end of my hours on here, then it's just you again. And for me, it's a question of, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna go do with your day, with your life, that makes you feel special, that makes you feel excited, and that fills you with self-love, that fills your cup to a point that you can give abundantly to everyone around you? We're here to share, we're here to experience, we're here to live, we're here to love, we're here to just make the most of every single day. And I truly believe that every single day really can be that good. But it's up to us to work together to bring that to life. So yeah, that's my little rant for now. I think I'm gonna call it there, because I think a lot of good really came out of that. But for now, let's take a couple deep breaths. We're gonna go in for 4 and out for 8. That was awesome. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. This is Studio Raphael. And yeah, we got about an hour left today. So, what's